What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, April 11th, my favorite day, my favorite time of the year. Not my favorite time of the year, but I guess it is, but my favorite number, 2023. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate you guys coming here. I know you could have been anywhere in this world, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. I know you could have been anywhere in this place in the world, but you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. We have an action-packed show once again. But before I start the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations. The key is honest conversations about your life's transition. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. So I welcome you, welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. And before we start, I just want to give a little update on my brother Ellis, the King of Harlem. My brother is recovering rather nicely. He's not out of the woods yet. Again, like I reported almost 2 weeks ago, my brother had a massive heart attack. He was in sedation for at least a good week. Now he's out of sedation. Thank God for that. He is doing much better. He's able to be more mobile. And he's feeling that positive energy, those positive prayers, those positive healings that everybody's throwing out to him and giving him, that he's receiving that. And I thank everybody for doing that as well. So my brother's, he's been updated, and he's doing much better. Again, not out of the woods yet, but those prayers, those well wishes have been received from my brother, and he thanks you guys, because I talk to my brother, see my brother almost every day when I go to the hospital and check him out and seeing him. But he's doing so much better, and that's due in part to your prayers. So I thank you guys, and I appreciate all the prayers and all the well wishes that everybody has been sending out to my brother. So I appreciate you guys. So I'll give more updates when I have them. But again, my brother is doing so much better, and prayer changes things. So thank you so much on that, Transition Army. Thank you. So guys, let's talk. Okay, let's talk. We got a couple of things. This is like a smorgasbord of topics we're going to talk about today. And first one is shooting at a Louisville, Kentucky bank. And want to talk about this tragedy that just took place yesterday. This tragedy just took place yesterday. So a 25-year-old bank employee in Louisville, Kentucky, knew he was going to be fired and wrote a note to loved ones before heading to his job Monday morning and opened fire, killing 5 people and injuring 8 others. Now the gunman, he's identified as Connor Strungen, started his attack around 8:30 a.m. at the Old National Bank in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. He opened fire at some employees, as some employees met for a morning meeting before the bank was open to the public. So this particular employee knew exactly what he was doing and when he was doing it. The gunman is described as extremely intelligent. I mean, here's a young man. I mean, 25 years old, extremely intelligent. And others knew him, was shocked to hear about this violence. I just was recently listening to it. They were just saying before he started doing the shooting, he texted a friend of his saying that he was gonna shoot everybody at the bank or kill everybody at the bank, and he was very suicidal. So this was like a death wish that this young man was trying to orchestrate, and he did just that because he was fatally killed. Prior writings by the gunman, in which he had kind of like a manifesto, indicated he struggled to fit in before he joined the team at Old National Bank, and was on the brink of being terminated when he entered the bank with a rifle. So he had that knowledge that he was going to be terminated. They're not saying to what extent, but it's really painful to listen to this. He worked at the bank for more than a year, and he killed these people, injured these people, killing 5 people. He injured 8 others. Man, so this is very depressing. Very, very depressing here that's going on. I'll continue on that. Before I do, like to shout out to my guy Matt on the check-in. What's going on, Matt? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my good friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, we got Felicia on the check-in from The Rock. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, you two. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I like to welcome everybody else if you're just tuning in to the program today. So, also this gunman, he wrote a note to his parents and a friend indicating that he was going to open fire at the bank. It's not clear whether the note was on a paper or email or whether it was seen before the incident or after, according to a source here. Another disturbing thing about this gunman, he was live streaming this rampage when this was taking place. The shooter was live streaming on Instagram, and it has since been taken down. Thank God on that. It's also told a manager at the bank told a source that he being the shooter, had a monotone personality. His temperament was pretty low key. I've never seen the kid get angry or upset about anything in public, and he was pretty much just a relaxed type of person. So there was like no form of red flags about this particular person in this incident. So, this gives you a cause to pause because we don't really know why this actually took place. Maybe before the fire, even though maybe he knew he was going to be terminated, but does that cause you to go on a rampage like this? I don't know. It's really tough. It talked about how the gunman, he graduated from the University of Alabama in 2020. And he participated in an accelerated master's program and earned both his bachelor's degree and master's degree in finance at the same time. So this guy was well educated as well. He also wrote, yes. And I want to go over about his dad, the father, because this young man played sports in high school. And he was an individual in which I saw pictures of it. He suffered from many concussions, and so much so when he played basketball at his high school, he played with a helmet on. And maybe could CTE been the cause of this? We've seen this throughout the history of concussions, especially with football players. What CTE has done to the brain. I think of Junior Seau, big people along those lines who had massive injuries, and CTE is the disease caused by repeated concussions and traumatic brain injury. I mean, could this be a reason for this rampage? I don't know, but he suffered from a lot of concussions while he was in high school. So, it's really mind-boggling. And his father went on to say his father was a head coach at the men's basketball team at the University of Indianapolis 10 years ago. And he later coached basketball and taught U.S. history at his son's high school as well. So I'm sure his son, the father is probably startled as everybody who they're asking. I've seen them ask neighbors about this young man. Seemed to be a chill person and a person who seemed like he didn't have any issues. But, mental illness can't be tracked. We don't know. We can't be measured, and we don't know what causes this. And, it's really a sad state of affairs by this young man. People's lives are now affected. And again, he came in with AR-17, right? AR assault rifle. Again, we come back to this all the time, Why aren't these assault rifles outlawed? I mean, the assault rifle does its job. Its job is to kill, maybe hunting and stuff like that. But it does its job. But do we need these on the market for people to be purchasing? I don't think so. But so that's what we had in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's really, really hard for me. It's really sad state of affairs, man, that we see this and people doing this so young. Because again, we just don't know what's on people's minds. What causes people to do that, and I guess we'll never really know because this person was taken out. And it seemed like a death wish. Maybe they seemed like they, because they complained of being suicidal, and this was their way of going out that way. So, and again, we will never know what was on this gentleman's mind to do such a heinous act. So, it's really sad state of affairs here. But want to get people's comments. If you have any comments on that, if you have any viewpoints on that, but gladly put them in the post in the comment bar so we can discuss it about that. Okay. So next, want to transition to a Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee sends Justin Jones back to the Tennessee House days after Republican lawmakers ousted him. So what a chain of a turn of events that's taking place in Nashville, Tennessee. As Felicia says, it's also a reminder of how we treat people, because you don't know what people are experiencing in life. So we must be gentle and kind to one another. I agree with you, Felicia. You just never know what's on people's mind, And again, we have the abilities to be kind to your fellow man or woman, because you just never know what people are going through. You just never know what people are going through. A little kind gesture by this gentleman before he did this could have maybe possibly changed his mind. And a lot of times you see that as well. Little kinds of acts of kindness and gestures of kindness to people can maybe change people's direction on what they're going to do. So things like this might not take place. So it's always be, kind individuals. I subscribe to that. I know Felicia just mentioned that, and I know this person is the most kindest person I know. So yeah, we have to approach people with kindness, man, and be gentle and kind with one another. I agree with you, Felicia. Thank you for making that comment, because it's an important, it's an important comment, and it could be the difference between life and death. Really, actually, it could definitely be the difference between a life and death matter. So, man, a little bit about this, what's taking place in Nashville, Tennessee. Man, what a change of events that's taking place here. So, 4 days after being expelled by Tennessee's Republican-controlled House of Representatives, Democratic Justin Jones marched back to the Capitol on Monday following a unanimous vote by the Nashville Metropolitan Council to reappoint him as interim representative, which is major here. His return representing Nashville's House District 52, so that's the district that he represents, put an exclamation point on the remarkable 100-hour stretch in which Jones and another black Democrat, Justin Pearson, lost their seats in an extraordinary, emotionally charged legislative session after calling for gun reform during a protest on the chamber floor. Now, a third Democrat who has joined them, Republican Gloria Johnson, who was white, by the way, that's very important, narrowly avoided expulsion during Thursday's House session. So she wasn't expelled. They took a vote and she wasn't expelled. Let me look into here. We got my guy on the check-in, the voice of the men's and women's team at Manhattan College, ESPN Zones. We got Uncle Smoothie is in the building. What's going on, Smoothie? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. Welcome. So now, so keep in mind, Gloria Jones, who's white, she narrowly escaped being, being kicked off or off of the what am I trying to say? being kicked out of the House of Representatives. She did, again, because she was white. Let's keep that in mind, okay? Very important. Very, very important. So, speaking from the steps of the Capitol after walking the 4 blocks to City Hall, Justin Jones told the crowd, and this is important, and this quote will go down in history, I believe. You're going to see this quote in the history books by this young man, this young king here. Today, we are sending a resounding message that democracy will not be killed in the comfort of silence. Today, we send a clear message to Speaker Cameron Sexton that the people will not allow his crimes against democracy to happen without challenge. You're going to see that You're going to see that in history books. That quote you're going to see in history books. And again, the crazy thing about this, I was watching this transpire, I was with my mom and we were watching this. And my mom reminded me of something that was very pivotal. My mom reminded me of how this reminded her of the 60s with the social injustice that was taking place and the civil unrest, but people rising up from protests. It reminded her of the 60s. So we fast forward to 2023. And my mom clearly said this reminded me of the 60s with Dr. Martin Luther King, the sit-ins in the stores, in the 5 and 10 dime stores, these things, these active protests, peaceful protests, that's what it reminded her of. So, again, this will go down in history as a historic event. And we can't forget about Justin Pearson, because I think they're gonna take a vote on his situation, maybe have him reinstated on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. He might get his job back as well. Now, these are two rising stars. I mean, these two gentlemen happen to be black, young, rising stars. And people are probably, people are saying like, oh, these guys are, the stars ascending, you know what I mean? So what? That's a good thing, right? But again, I think what they're fighting for is I think people are missing what the issue is. And we're losing the mindset of what the issue is. And the issue is they're fighting for gun reform. Okay, they're fighting for gun reform, and they want to see a change. Their district members came to their leaders and said, "Hey, listen, we want to fight for this." So we just got to keep in mind what the issue is: fighting for gun reforms, reform laws for gun control. We're seeing these mass shootings. There was a mass shooting in Tennessee. Okay, and that's the reason why this protest. So we just got to keep in mind the reasons why we're fighting, and the reason why these two men are fighting, for gun reform, changing the laws of gun reform. Okay, they are fighting the battles of these Republicans in their district, who are, these Republicans. I'm just gonna say it like it is. These Republicans are financed by IRAs. Their base is funded by that. They're trying to fight they're trying to fight for those laws, to appeal these laws and have some gun reform, which is an uphill battle. But I think these two young kings is up to it. They're up to the task of it. So let's, continue to have them fight, and hopefully, Justin Pearson will be reinstated tomorrow. So that'll be a good thing to keep up the good fight. Okay? And it's power to the people, like I stated earlier. This statement is a power to the people, and this is for all people, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get it twisted. Gun reform will be for all people. Our community, the black community, is really affected by these gun laws. Because we disproportionately get shot by these guns at a larger rate, right? But this affects everybody. So these two individuals, along with the third individual, Ms. Johnson, as well, to complete the Tennessee 3. They know what the big cause is and what the big picture is. Okay, gun reform laws. So let's not let that get lost in the shuffle. Even though when these guys are descending, which is a good thing. Okay, but keep in mind what the issue is: gun reform, gun laws, common sense laws. Okay, that's what it's all about. Okay. And lastly, I got a story that I want to talk about: the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama incident. Have you guys heard about this? Well, let me go about this if you haven't heard about this. So, the Dalai Lama has apologized after a video emerged showing the spiritual leader kissing a child on the lips and then asking him to, quote, suck his tongue at an event in northern India. Now, in a statement yesterday, as fast as yesterday, the office of the Dalai Lama said that he, the Dalai Lama, wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused, adding he regrets the incident. Now, this is a pretty big incident about the Dalai Lama. And think about the Dalai Lama here, you know. The Dalai Lama is the world's best known living Buddhist figure on the planet, right? So a lot of things are, a lot of things are wrong in this. A lot of things are wrong in this. Now, I've heard, reports that the Dalai Lama has a great sense of humor and always likes to add humor to what he does, throughout his travels. But I think this is totally out of bounds. Number one, kissing a young boy on the lips and asking to suck his tongue, I don't know about the cultures, or this is a cultural thing, or, but I don't know. This is just totally, totally out of pocket. And, I'm sure that the people are trying to get ahead of that, but, it's just, man, it's just not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So, hopefully he gets in contact with the young boy and his family, and maybe have a public statement, just denouncing what he did, because what he did wasn't funny, and if you ever hear a video of this, him doing that, you can hear people in the background laughing about it, but again, it's not a laughing matter, when you're dealing with young people, and people flash back to, different things, especially in the Catholic Church and young people, let's face it, let's call it what it is, It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look for the Dalai Lama or anybody, in terms of young children and stuff like that. So, hopefully they'll get ahead of that, and hopefully it'll be a statement by the Dalai Lama himself, not representatives. You want to hear him talk about what was on his mind, what was he talking about, you know what I mean? Was it a joke? But again, if it was a joke, it was a tasteless joke, and, so we have to stay tuned with that and see exactly how that transpires and how that takes place. So, yeah, man, the smorgasbord of things we talked about today. And, yeah, man, we just hope, if it's one thing, and I'm glad Felicia was on here and she mentioned it, if it's one thing that you can, do and take from these particular stories is, again, man, it's all about being kind to people, because you just never know what's on people's mind. And these little words of kindness can probably change the course of somebody's day and save lives by these little acts of kindness, being kind to people, being gentle to people. It can make a world of difference. So let's take that into consideration. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, or think, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. As Felicia says, informative conversations today. Thanks, Russell. You welcome, Felicia. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for everybody else for joining us too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And speaking of thank yous, let's get the theme music going. All right? Here we go. Yes. All right. All righty. Transition Army. Hey, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for you watching Transition Tuesdays each and every Tuesday. If you missed this broadcast, along with past broadcasts, please tune into our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays. Then you can like it, okay? Like it, and you can subscribe if you wish, but like it. Get out there, give it a thumbs up, okay? Tell me how you feel. How you feeling about the show, okay? Because this is my show, but this is our show. Okay, so make sure you're liking that, okay, when you go to Transition Tuesdays on our YouTube channel. All right? So, again, I always want you guys to celebrate your victory, as I always say. And I'm going to celebrate the victory that you guys have came to see me and to be a part of the show, because you guys are making the show. It's you. It's your show. You making it. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Also, if you haven't been following me, you can follow me on Instagram at Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S. Okay, follow me and I'll definitely follow you back. Alrighty. So again, I want to give a shout out to our corporate sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, located in downtown Lumberton, North Carolina. So before the show ends, we're almost done. Head over to sweetcandycafe.com and donate, meaning buy, purchase. All right, delectable candy. We all love candy. I know you do out there. So make sure you go there. SweetCandyCafe.com and order your confectionery goodies. Your taste buds will thank you later. So make sure you do that at SweetCandyCafe.com. So ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in parting, happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless.